The first thing I ever learned was how to fall, and how to do it without crying. Not because I was told to be strong, but because there was no one around to help me up. I got used to the taste of dirt, to the silence after impact, to the way the world keeps walking, like it didn't just watch you break. I earned my posture not from pride, but from survival, from dragging myself off the floor enough times that the ground started to remember my name. When I step now, I feel the weight shift around me. The air tightens, the room steadies, because something in me refuses to kneel again. They look at how I walk and they think confidence, but it's not confidence. It's memory, it's warning, it's the echo of every moment I was supposed to stay down but didn't. My spine is a ledger, my bones carry receipts, and my silence is louder than any man trying to prove himself. I don't raise my hands, I don't need to. The ground already knows who I am. Every floor I've walked on has felt my blood beneath it. Every door I've opened has learned not to close behind me. I'm not loud, I'm not fast, but I am final, and that's something you feel, not something you see. This isn't about being feared, it's about being felt in the walls, in the cracks, in the shift of someone's voice. When I enter, I never begged the world to move. I made it adjust step by step without permission. Now I carry my own gravity, and the ground doesn't dare forget me, because I fell, I rose, I stood still long enough to change the air, and now wherever I go, the floor tightens, the noise fades, and everything remembers. The ground knows who I am.
There were no witnesses, no applause, no hand on the shoulder saying you did good. Just me and the weight and the silence that knew more than any voice ever could. They think power comes loud, they think the climb is made of noise, but the real rise, the kind that lasts, happens when no one's watching. I didn't scream, I didn't fight, I endured in stillness. Corners where I bit my tongue so hard it became a compass. I've seen rooms filled with men who talk and crumble, and I've seen quiet ones like hold up mountains with nothing but locked jaws and tired eyes. They never saw what I gave up to stay standing. They just see me now, solid, cut from something they don't recognize. But I remember every moment I could have answered back and didn't. Every insult I turned to dust inside my chest. Every time I walked away with the storm in my throat and a target on my back. Not because I was weak, but because I was building every silent night. Was a brick, every swallow's scream a steel beam, until one day there was no collapse left in me. Now I move like someone who paid full price and left the receipt in the fire. Now looking back, not explaining a damn thing. You ask me what it costs to be this still, this precise, this cold. It cost everything. I bled in silence. I buried versions of myself no one will ever meet. I kept going while they laughed, while they doubted, while they mistook my calm for absence. But here I am, unmoved, undone by nothing, 'cause the price was paid, not in blood, not in gold, but in silence. And I never asked for change. You can fake your words, you can dress the part, learn the script, smile like you mean it, but your posture, that gives you away. Mine doesn't bend, not because I've never been broken, because I broke so many times. I learned how to stand without pieces. I walk like I'm armored, but there's no metal on me. The steel is under the skin.
woven through the years, poured into the spine like molten resolve, and cooled by every moment. They tried to make me small. You see presence, but I see weight. You see elegance, I feel the pressure holding me in place. It's not performance, it's structure, it's survival arranged into symmetry. This back doesn't bow, not to fear, not to guilt, not to the soft commands of those who've never had to carry what I carry. I don't speak often, 'cause my shoulders already do. Tell the room he's not here to be liked, he's here to be unchanged. That kind of posture, it's not trained, it's not taught, it's earned through repetition of laws, through discipline forged in silence, through saying no to everything that tried to turn me into a shadow. I did. I faced men who doubted me until they didn't, and I never raised my voice, I just didn't lower my head. That's all it took. Not rage, not pride, just stillness, just that spine that wouldn't fold. Now they call it confidence, but I call it memory. I remember what it felt like to kneel, and I remember what it took to rise. So I hold the line in my breath, in my neck, in the way I move, like I've already seen the outcome. 'Cause I have, and I don't flinch anymore. I just stand, steel in my posture, fire beneath it, and nothing above me.
I felt it coming long before the sky turned black, before the thunder spoke my name, before the world decided it had something to prove. The storm came like they always do, loud, messy, hungry for collapse. But I didn't run, I didn't scream, I bit down on it and made it stay inside. You wanna know how I kept standing with the sky falling around me?
I didn't block it, I digested it. Every bolt of fury, every drop of doubt, every scream they threw at my silence, I took it in and didn't blink. Because I've been through worse, storms with names, storms with eyes, storms that spoke in betrayal, and promises turn rust. I've danced with winds strong enough to bend steel, but they never cracked the frame. I clenched my jaw until the chaos tasted like blood, until my breath came out in lightning and my eyes burned like warning signs. I could've let it all out, could've burned the whole city just to match the inside. But no, I held it like a blade between my teeth, and dared the world to test me again. You see calm, but what I feel is friction. You hear silence, but there's thunder chewing at my ribs. Still I don't lash, I don't beg, I wait, coiled, controlled, 'cause I learned how to weaponize patience, how to let the fire live in me without letting it burn the ones I still might need. It's not about hiding the storm, it's about mastering it, turning it into focus, into force, into fuel. So the next time they look at me and wonder why I don't flinch, why I don't answer, why I seem carved from stone, it's 'cause I already met the storm and bit down on it until it broke its teeth on my will. I don't need to shout, don't need to wave flags or paint targets. I just exist, and the room adapts. People talk about presence like it's something you wear. But mine leaks, it spreads, it seeps into corners and makes the air feel thick. I've burned enough bridges to light a path that walks alone. And now what's left of that fire follows me, in smoke, in heat, in memory. You can smell it, can't you? Even when I'm silent, something in your instincts tells you not to stand too close. Not because I'm dangerous, but because I've been dangered. Because I know what it feels like to burn quietly, to set yourself on fire, just to keep going. And now there's no going back. I don't demand space, I become it. I don't ask for respect. I bring the kind of heat that melts resistance without touching it. Every step I take carries smoke, not to blind but to remind that I walk through flames with my teeth clenched and never lost direction. I earn this silence, this weight, this force that makes people second guess their words. When I enter, it's not fear, it's understanding. They understand I've suffered and turned it into posture. They understand I've bled and made it part of my sin. There's no illusion here, no theatrics, just pressure, just presence, just the quiet reality that no one stands in my smoke unless they're ready to be changed by it. So I walk through unchallenged, uninvited, but always expected. Because fire leaves a mark and smoke never forgets where it came from. And neither do I.
They want power to look noble, want it polished, want it dressed in speeches and suits. But I've held it closer than most, and I know power is never clean. It doesn't come from light, it crawls from the dark, from the quiet deals, from the closed doors, from the silences you agree to, so the floor stops shaking under your feet. I've seen what it takes to rise without applause, to stay standing when every ally is gone, and the room watches not to support but to see if you'll fall. And I didn't, I never needed clean hands, I needed results. They want stories with heroes, but I build mine with compromise, with sacrifice no one will ever thank me for, with scars no one's allowed to name out loud. I've done things that don't sleep well, I've spoken words that bend loyalty into obedience, and I don't regret a single one, because peace never got me anywhere but stepped on. So now I speak less, move sharper, and watch more, because control isn't loud, it's quiet. It's sitting at the center of the storm while everyone else begs for direction. And when they ask how I got here, how I stay here, they want a blueprint, but all I have is a map written in ashes. I made decisions that left echoes. I've chosen silence when speaking would have saved me. I've walked away from mercy, 'cause mercy isn't always what the moment needs. And they call it power, but it's not power, it's cost. It's pressure turned to instinct. It's doing what needs to be done and staring at the reflection and not blinking. You wanna lead? Then learn this power doesn't purify. It stains, it reshapes, and it always, always collects. So if you're looking for something clean, look somewhere else. 'Cause what I carry, what I command, what I am, was built in the dirt and sharpened in the fire. Power is never clean, and I've stopped pretending it should be.
They call me polished, call me sharp, say I move like I was trained, like I rehearsed the silence before I ever spoke. They're not wrong, I learned the rules so I could break them politely. I shake hands with calm, but the weight behind my fingers tells another story. One that's written in backroom glances and footsteps that never echo twice. See, I dress clean, move slow, speak soft, but that's just the scabbard. What I carry inside, what they never see, is loaded. Not with rage, not with pride, but with everything I never said, and every decision I never asked permission to make. You think the coat makes the man? No, it's the pressure in his breath, the way the room feels when he's still, the way people talk lighter once he's left. They think I'm patient, but patience is a weapon, and I've got mine cocked, smiling, waiting for the moment that calls for precision, not panic. I've watched men bark and brag, chest puff like they earned the right, but they don't walk like me, don't sit like me, don't carry the calm that only comes from walking through fire, memorizing the pattern of every burn. They ask what I hide, as if I'm trying to, but it's not hidden, it's just dressed well, in restraint, in elegance, in choice. And I can sit across from my enemy, share a drink, toast to nothing, and still leave with the upper hand. 'Cause I don't rush the blade, I let it hum just under the surface. This life, this role, it's not a performance, it's a loaded posture. It's being ready and pretending you're not. So yes, I'm a gentleman, I open doors, I keep my word, I tip my hat to those who earn it. But make no mistake, I'm not empty, I'm not soft, I'm not here to play fair. I'm here to remind them that some men carry kindness in one hand and consequence in the other. And I keep both loaded.
Strip away the titles, the suits, the rituals and names people whisper when you walk by. None of it holds, not when it's dark, not when it's quiet, not when it's just you and the mirror with nowhere left to hide. I've lost more than I show and kept more than I should. I've stood in the ruins of what used to be belief and built a new body around what refused to bend. Everything else collapses, all that stays is the spine. Not the smile, not the voice, just the line that keeps you upright when the world presses down like a question with no answer. You wanna know who I really am? Don't ask the ones who praise me. Ask the nights I didn't sleep, ask the breath I held while the world screamed for me to fall. I kept walking not because I was sure, because my spine wouldn't let me kneel. It remembered the dirt, it remembered the weight, it remembered how it felt to be ignored and still get up anyway. You can fake everything else, but the spine, the real one, the one made of memory of silence, of wounds stitched shut without help, that doesn't lie. I've been admired, I've been feared, I've been both in the same day. But what I hold sacred is the stillness in my center, the steel that didn't rust when I was left out in the storm. People ask how I do it, how I stay steady. It's not willpower, it's not training, it's repetition, it's losing everything and standing anyway. I don't carry strength in my arms, I carry it in that one thing. They couldn't steal, couldn't bend, couldn't shame. So take the fame, take the respect, take the
There was a time I tried to explain myself, try to earn the sea, try to be invited in. I waited for the nod, for the door to open, for the world to say, yes, you belong here. But nothing came. So I stopped waiting, stopped asking, stopped softening my voice just to be heard. I started showing up with decisions already made, plans already moving, and silence sharp enough to cut through hesitation. And that's when it changed. They stopped asking what I wanted. They started asking what I needed. They stopped offering advice and started watching their tone. 'Cause I stopped begging to be seen and started moving like I didn't care if they blinked. You don't become a boss by being chosen. You become one by surviving the rooms they try to keep you out of, by staying calm or to flinch, by knowing when to speak and when to let the silence hang like a loaded verdict. I used to think power was about presence. Now I know it's about pressure. How much you can hold, how much you can hide, how still you can stay, while everything behind your eyes burns. Respect didn't come when I proved myself, it came when I stopped needing to. They called me boss when I no longer asked to lead, when I just led, when my footsteps spoke louder than their doubts. I never wore a crown, never raised my voice. I just made decisions and lived with them while they waited for permission to act. Now, when I enter the room, no one checks who's in charge. They feel it. 'Cause I carry the weight, because I don't explain, because I walk like someone who's already paid the price, the cost, the blood tax of leadership. And they call me boss, not because I told them to, but because I stopped asking.
The flames are gone now. The smoke has cleared. The world looks cleaner, but colder. And I'm still here, not untouched.
just intact. There was a time when I burned through every choice, every word, every bond, trying to carve a place for myself in a world that only respected the scorch.
Lost softness, but I never lost direction. The fire taught me things no teacher ever could. How to hold still while everything around you screams. How to speak when your throat is dry from swallowing pride. How to stay standing even when you wish you would.
Now the flames are memory, but they left marks, deep ones beneath the skin, beneath the voice, etched into the walk, into the stare, into the way I wait with patience that smells like smoke. I don't need to burn anymore. I don't need to light the room, just to be seen. Now I move through the ashes with calm, with clarity, with the kind of silence only survivors understand. This isn't peace, it's presence. This isn't relief, it's recognition. I've made my mistakes, but I kept my spine. I've been through collapse, but I never gave away my core. And now when I speak, the room listens, not because I'm louder, but because I carry heat, even in the coldest moments. 'Cause I stand without flinching, without leaning, without apology, in the same place where the fire once lived.